Hey everybody, I'm Paul Malamud and welcome to MoodTube. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a football fan extraordinaire with a pretty solid background in sports journalism, and I'm going to get this off my chest from the start. As you can see, I'm a pretty big Jets fan, but I promise that I'll do my best not to let my bias get in the way of the work. With that out of the way, let's get things started. Wow, does it feel good to be back in football season, and what a game to get the season started last night. Peyton Manning came out firing, tossing 7 touchdowns to tie the NFL record. He was on fire. If him and his rocket laser arm can keep up this pace, he'll have a better statistical season than Mark Sanchez's entire career. Think about that for a second. Now, I don't have Manning on any of my fantasy teams, but he did make me look like a genius for starting the Thomas brothers, Julius and Demarius, last night, combining for 51 points. That's a pretty good start, and I'll take it. Now for my first Jets rant of the season. I promise not to do this every week, but I've got to get the season started off right. And how am I going to do that? By repping my main man, the Viking, Nick Mangold. Let's get this straight. Geno Smith, he didn't win the quarterback competition. He's starting because Sanchez got hurt. But he is a player with extreme potential, and he wouldn't be the first rookie quarterback to have a horrible preseason and still go on to be a solid quarterback. For evidence of this, we only need to look back 2 years to Andy Dalton. His first preseason, he tossed 1 touchdown to go along with 3 interceptions. Sound familiar? Plus, the Jets' weapons are a lot better than the mainstream media would lead you to believe, and this Jets defense could be Rex Ryan's best in green. Now, if you know me, you know I expect the Jets to go undefeated every year, but I've got to be realistic. I'm picking them to go 7-9, have a much better year than people expect, and to end up with the 10th overall draft pick. This summer, I got to go see Jets and Bills training camp on back-to-back days, and it gave me a great chance to see how EJ and Geno match up against each other at this point of their careers. And right now, EJ Manuel is far and above better than Geno Smith, it seems. I liked him better in the draft, and he's proven me right now. I expect him to have a pretty good year in a debatable Bills offense. Now for the picks. I'm going to go Patriots over Bills. Let's be honest, everybody's doing this. If you're picking the Bills, you're a moron. Bengals over Bears. I love the Bengals offense this year. We already talked about Andy Dalton. They obviously have A.J. Green. But with the addition of the 2 rookies, Tyler Eifert and Giovanni Bernard, I expect them to have a special offense to go along with their great defense, and they're my pick to win the AFC North. Next game, Jets over Bucks. I just can't bring myself to pick the Jets to lose week 1, and until they prove me wrong, I'm going to stick with them. I just hope that we don't see 24 in red running into the end zone with some pick sixes. That would be horrible. Browns over Miami. I think the Browns would be the most improved team in the NFL, but they still won't make the playoffs. They've got a great running game, a great defense, and I think Brent Ween will improve this year. Lions over Vikings. I love this offense. We all know they have Megatron, but with the addition of Reggie Bush, Megatron will stretch the field deep, Reggie Bush will stretch it short, and that's going to leave the middle of the field open for Brendan Pettigrew to have a pretty good year. You might want to think about picking him up if he's available. Colts over Raiders. Let's be honest, the Raiders are the worst team in the NFL. If you're picking them, you're just being stupid. Saints over Falcons. It's real hard to go into New Orleans and win, let alone the first game after Sean Payton was suspended for an entire year. They're going to come out fired up. Drew Brees is going to put some points on the board like he always does, and an improved defense under Rob Ryan. They're going to shut down the Falcons. I still like the Falcons to win the division, though. Steelers over Titans. I just don't know what to make of Jake Locker, so until he shows me that he can do it, I've got to pick the Steelers. Seahawks over Panthers. Seahawks are the best team, one of the best teams in the NFL. A lot of people's Super Bowl favorites, so they're going to come out and they're going to trounce Cam Newton. Chiefs over Jags. Alex Smith should be a good fit for Andy Reid's offense, throwing the short pass to Jamal Charles. Jamal Charles might be the best fantasy running back this year, especially in a PPR. So if you've got him, congratulations. Rams over Cardinals. The Rams are going to be the best team not to make the playoffs this year. They've got just too tough of a record. Schedule. When you have to play the 49ers twice and the Seahawks twice, that's pretty tough. And speaking of those 49ers, I'm picking them to lose to the Packers in the best game on Sunday. I just think that Aaron Rodgers is going to come out firing, trying to wash that nasty taste out of his mouth after that playoff loss last year. So I'm picking the Niners to lose. Now for Sunday night, I'm taking Cowboys over the Giants. Recent history proves me wrong with all these recent losses that the Cowboys have the Giants at home. But I'm led to believe that that streak of losing to the Giants at home has to end soon. And I think it's going to happen Sunday night. Now for Monday, we're going Redskins over the Eagles with RG3 back, and we just don't know what to expect out of a Chip Kelly offense. It's going to be a real high-scoring game, but I'm taking the Skins in this one. And now for the late game on Monday night, Texans over Chargers. The J.J. Watt-led defense is going to come out and just swarm all over Phillip Rivers. It's going to be a nightmare for the Chargers. And I've got a Houston defense on one of my teams, so I got to love them. That's it, folks. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in to the inaugural episode of MoodTube. Check back throughout the season. We're going to be having a lot of fun, and I'm going to be giving you a lot of good NFL information. See you next week.